I had a life-changing revelation the other day. Do you want to hear it? So Greg and I were watching a YouTube video of a exorcist who is called
Father Vincent Lampert.
Yes. And he was telling a story about a girl who had come to him for help. She had been having some demonic influences in her life, and apparently she told him the story of in her youth that she had a very difficult childhood where her father took advantage of her in bad ways that allowed the devil to enter into her life, and she was in tears about when she was telling him this story, and she looked up at him and said, "Can you help me?" And he said, "Jesus Christ is going to help you." And at that point when he said that, he tells us that her eyes turned green and her pupils became like slits, like
like a snake.
Yeah. And at that point, a voice came from her saying, "Who's he? He can't do anything," I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Immediately, the priest, the exorcist, Father Vincent Lampert, said that he reached out his hand and started praying over her. And when he did this, the girl, the demon from the girl, gave this, in that horrible voice, said to him, "You can't get rid of us. We've been here too long, and you're not strong enough." At that point, when I'm hearing this story from the priest, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I feel this familiar sense of dread. I felt hopeless for the girl, and I felt fear for the poor exorcist. I was thinking, oh my goodness, what's going to happen to him? What's going to happen to her? What's he going to do? He can't do anything. But then he continues with his story, and without flinching, he says the exorcism over the girl, and the demon's gone. So I was thinking about it, and I was shocked. I was actually shocked because I thought, if this demon's been in her too long, maybe I had bought the lie. And the reason it was a revelation to me is because it was a familiar feeling that I felt when I heard that lie, because I had heard that lie throughout my life with so many different situations. You can't do this. They don't care. You're not strong enough. Whatever the lie is.
It'll never work.
And so the reason I want to share this with you is because it really affects us in marriage, because we hear lies in our marriage as well, in our hearts. And specifically we're talking right now about communication. We're focusing on communication in marriage. I'm sure this affects other parts of our life, but in marriage particular, communication is so important, and that gets shut down by some of these lies. What are some of the lies? So, why bother? Why bother talking to him? He's not even listening. That's one lie that I've heard before.
Right. She doesn't care. She's just more interested in other stuff than in me.
Or he cares more about work than he does about me.
Or she cares more about texting all day long than listening to what I have to say.
Or he can't possibly understand what I'm going through. Why should I even tell him, right?
Right.
So
or she just wants me around for a paycheck and to keep the kids in line, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these are the kinds of lies that we hear when we're communicating with our spouse. And often, I listen to them. Do you? I have.
Gotta pay attention and find out.
Right. So, I just want to point out that, this beautiful exorcist, that I'm telling you about, I'm grateful to God that he gave us such a beautiful example to follow. Someone who has such trust and confidence in the power that God gave him through his bishop, through the obedience that he practices in the exorcism rite. He didn't even flinch. He continued to say his exorcism over this girl without even listening to these lies that he can't do it. And I'm grateful for that, because now I understand that I've been told a lie my whole life. And I'm still told these lies, but now I know to not listen.
Yeah, so we invite you to be on the lookout. I'm guessing once you've seen a few, they become a lot easier to see, right? Spot them all over
Absolutely.
the place, so keep an eye out for them. Then you can't unsee them, and we will see you next time.